There we go. Taylor Construction, the best in the game. All right, IG, I see y'all with some new features. Big homie Scooty, what's up, Buckets? How you? Mr. Will McCant, there we go. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Happy Thursday, y'all. Hope y'all having a productive and a good week. We back at it, waiting for Keisha to get in here. I'm alright, man. You know, trying to make it happen. Man, that's good, man. Definitely love to connect with you, man. Try to figure out how we can help you put these plays together, Scoot. Mecca Maid, I see you. Yeah, I definitely want to connect with you too. I've been watching you do your thing. Keith, you got to join from your phone. Do it from your phone. It's not going to let you connect from your laptop. I see you just came in. Mr. Multifamily himself. What's going on? I see you. AKA Gunjack. There you up, Keish. There she go. How are you, beautiful?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, good. Always good to see you. Always good to see you.
You too.
What you got going on? Had a busy day?
Man, listen, I was taking a nap. I was on my way out.
On your way out for the night?
On my way out for the night.
Uh-oh. It was supposed to be a nap that was about to have you wake up
Right.
4 o'clock in the morning like, what was that? Well, I'm
That-
glad you set your alarm.
Yeah, it went off like 2 seconds. I was like, oh my God, let me get up. But I'm good. I'm here.
All right, that's what's up. Well, look, we glad to have you, man. Every time we get together, we always learn so much, man. But what are you working on now? You working on anything good?
So right now, I am in the midst of converting a family into a duplex.
You
And
said a
I'm
single family into a duplex?
a single family into a duplex. Yep.
Okay.
So we just got that one framed up. I just closed on one on Ogonce Avenue. Closed that one up.
That was a flip that you flipped.
That was a flip. That was
Yeah.
a nice one. And I'm wrapping up one more
What's the one more?
on Lavier Street. So if anybody looking for a house, 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, kind of small but nice,
Cozy. Realtor talk. Cozy.
cozy,
And comfortable.
comfortable.
Right, right. You get to buy all that cute furniture from IKEA for it.
From IKEA. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are you working virtually, still teaching and doing real estate? How's that working for you?
So the virtual, I hope no one from my job is here. But the virtual has been great because we're online and I can set them up and I can kind of move around, not really, but a little bit. Some days I can, pop on a job site, whatever. But we're planning to what do you call it? Go hybrid. I think like January, but
So you say go hybrid where they're going to be doing like every other day rotation. But wait, you just tried to slide that in there. You said you
it's rap. I've been talking about it for a while. This is it.
So you about to put your notice in.
I'm about to put my notice in.
How many years of teaching?
16.
So 16 years of teaching. How many years of real estate?
Let me see, 2010. So what's this? 10 years.
Okay. So 6 years of laying a foundation at your 9 to 5, then 10 years of pumping and grinding to the point where, financially you like, yo, I'm good. I'm at a point where like, yo, now it's time to go full throttle.
Right. You want that freedom. Let me tell y'all, that breath of, not having to clock in, not being on somebody else's time, that is the best feeling. I got a little taste of it in February.
Whatever's when we did the in-person, right?
In person, I took a little break and it was a wrap from there. I was like, this is what life is like.
Nah, but I love the fact that you were disciplined and you didn't like. So I was impatient. So when I quit, I wasn't necessarily ready. Like, and I tell people all the time, don't necessarily learn from me, or but listen to what I'm saying. But it was like I was at a point where I was comfortable, but it wasn't like when they say, "Yo, had that 3 months or 6 months." I might have had a week or two. I had a week or two of cushion. But I was like, yo, like I was so fed up with my job though,
right.
I couldn't manage job, work, and home life. So I picked home life in real estate. Like, but thankfully it's been working. We 4 years straight of the last run of just we making it happen.
I remember. I think when I first met you, you were working case manager or something, right?
Yeah, I was doing social work.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Remember.
Right, and especially for me, like I had already been laid off from a job before, so I had already lost my loyalty to employment. I just was doing it because I needed the consistent income at the time. But once I got a little comfortable, and honestly, like even if you're not in position, the one thing I can say I got from it, like just jumping out there, you figure it out. When that pressure is on to pay bills, you figure it out.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people are, you hear different people say, "Oh, quit your job and just go for it." It's either sink or swim. You gonna learn right away how to stay afloat, and this is a survival skill.
Right, and the great thing is now, even if you don't get a 9 to 5, you can employ yourself between Uber. Like I know people that was doing Uber and trying to figure real estate out. Or what's the new thing now with the going shopping for people?
I don't know what that one is.
The people that go grocery shopping for you. They got, I forget what it's called, but they got a thing where people getting money going shopping for people, and you get a fee, almost like Grubhub, but they got it for groceries. Yeah. So you got options, or you go get a little job at Amazon. But I tell, like, my biggest thing is like I love the 9 to 5 hustler, and you showed what being a 9 to 5 hustler got you, and you tried to downplay it, but you have a commercial space and you get ready to open a daycare.
So it's a lot going on right now. I'm back at the commercial space. We almost done that. Tomorrow I'm going up to Lancaster to Instacart. Someone said
Instacart, right? Yep. Thank you. Level Up.
Yep. And then I'm actually going to make an offer tomorrow on someone who has a daycare that she's selling the business. So
in Lancaster.
Lancaster,
PA.
Lancaster, PA.
But it's already up and running, so you just managed to
hopefully get keys. That's it.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. But we kind of, so I'm gonna say, one, congratulations. I wish I had like some buttons and stuff I could push so I could drop the chairs and all that. But I know everybody out there, they definitely saluting you. I'm saluting you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on making that happen. But I want to go back though, like even before this part. So I'm talking to Keish from college, high school. Like, what was your vision for yourself starting out, like high school, like say junior year, going into college? Like, what did you think you were going to be doing, and what were you pushing towards?
So I'm gonna tell you right now, when I grew up, we didn't have a lot. We were poor. We were really poor. I was taken in by my aunt and uncle, and they raised myself and 4 other kids. It was like, what can I do? You know what I mean? So I don't ever have to live like this when I'm older. And, college, you don't know. You, in your mind frame, go to college, take out debt, get a job. And that was my goal. And that's what I did. But eventually, being someone and being exposed to, a grind, real estate. I didn't know anything about real estate. And so just watching that person, they put me on to something, because my mindset was work 40 hours. You want more money, work 80 hours. You want more money, work 90 hours. And now I'm working, half that with a 9 to 5 still. And I'm making probably double, triple what I was making, working 80 hours a week, doing nothing. You know what I mean? Collect residual income, but you got to invest. You got to put, take that money and put it in so it work. So, and I'm not, you don't need your 9 to 5. Take that 9 to 5 and use that you know what I mean, to kickstart your investing career?
No, so my biggest thing is, and that's what I'm an advocate for, you are your own bank in the beginning. So
Right.
like,
What it was, yeah.
right.
Yep.
And but the thing is, you doubled that because you stayed down long enough and you took the risk though. That's the thing. A lot of people who have that 9 to 5, they're scared to go beyond those four walls or that box kind of thing because they're used to the stability and comfort. But they're not happy at that. So it's like, if you're not happy, you might as well not be happy because you took a risk and messed up.
You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. So I made my mind up officially about 3 weeks ago. I went out the country, and I was working outside of the country, and I couldn't get into my school account.
Okay.
And my boss, I said, this was 3 weeks ago. I told my boss, I can't get in to take attendance for the kids. I said, I'm out of the country, and maybe the network. And she was like, what? You're out of the country? What? Oh my God, no, you can't do that. You're not supposed to be out of the country. And I'm like, well, we're remote teaching. I'm teaching. What's the problem? But in our code of conduct, you can't do anything that you wouldn't do if you were in a classroom. So that means if you're in a classroom, you can't be in another country. In a classroom, you can't be shopping. People do it, you know what I mean? But when I was told I couldn't go and I'm still doing my job, I was like, okay, this is it. Gotta get it together. Gotta get together. It's time to go now.
So I'm saying that sounds like, so I'm saying you're not wrong, but I'm also saying, you pushed the envelope just a little bit.
Where does it listen, y'all want to know the truth? Sometimes I'm only dressed from the waist up and I'm teaching a class. So what difference does it make in my house, in my bedroom, in my underwear versus on an island on a beach somewhere? Nobody knows. I'm still doing instruction. And a lot of us, if teachers, y'all teach from the waist up. I know y'all decided.
Well, no, that, and you see the commercials with Geico, State Farm, or like all the other stuff, and you see the dudes that be having the ball shorts or like you said, the pajamas, and it's just all from up top. Like some of my other friends that are teachers, I see them posting, they like laying in my bed, make sure I don't have the headboard showing, and I gotta make sure it's professional. Like,
yep. So
but sometimes whatever. So that was my thing. So same way you just needed whatever excuse or whatever motivation. Like, oh, I'm done. Like I don't gotta take this. I don't gotta take this.
Right. Oops. Yeah, I gotta charge this in a second. So it was like it's time to make some moves. Okay. So, and that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up some different avenues to be out.
Got you. Well, no, that's dope. So I mean, even from like the transition, like you said, like, do you feel like college was still worthwhile going?
Most definitely. I hope that doesn't fall. Most definitely. I feel like college definitely did instill some basics, you know what I mean? As far as organization, as far as just preparing my mind for being an entrepreneur. I developed some amazing friendships and relationships. As a matter of fact, had I not gone to college, I would not have met the person who started me in real estate. I wouldn't have been teaching, and that's how I got connected. So it definitely, everything had a like a stair step for me to travel, and so I definitely am grateful that I went. Not for the debt though, but
right. But hindsight 2020, I'm saying when you have kids or if you have kids, I'm not don't look at me like when I don't be putting that on me.
They coming soon.
All right. Well. So when you have kids, being that you're in position, do you think you would tell your kids differently, like in regards to positioning them for school, or what you would suggest for them on how to go about school?
Definitely. I think that I wouldn't push college so hard because I realize now that college isn't the only way to go and be successful and make money. It's definitely a you know, it's definitely a tool. It's definitely a great, you know, opportunity to take if you have it. But I want them to also know that I can go part-time and I can pursue a business, or I can take out, instead of taking out a loan for school, I can take out a loan for a business. You know what I mean? So.
Or, you know, mom is going to have a couple houses that we're going to dedicate to the kids. And look, you know, I met one gentleman before. He sold the property once to help his daughter go to pay for the wedding. He was like, yeah, she's getting married in a month. I just want to get some extra cash just in case she needs anything. I said, he's like, this is just one of my 30 houses.
Right. And you know what? And what you're doing is you are, like, right now I'm establishing that generational wealth for my children and their children, because they're going to have something. A lot of times we, you know, as colored people, Latinos, Blacks, we you know, we don't really have that. We don't have our parents passing down houses and things like that. And sometimes we're so, for lack of better words, we're ignorant. We don't know. You know, it was a young girl, young Black girl. I think she was like 23, 22. And her grandmother passed away, left her house in South Philly. And
I know you're talking about, I think it's Rosebuds Investment.
I don't know. Young girl.
Yeah, I think it's Rosebuds. Yeah, that was her first property. And then she started buying stuff at the sheriff's sale.
Right, her.
Yep.
She said that man came, he wanted that house, and she couldn't understand. You know what I mean? She sold him that house for pennies on a dollar. He turned around, you know what I mean?
Right.
Made a big come up. So, you know, we have the tools, we have the potential, but you know, acquiring those assets are important, because, you know, that's going to help our kids go to college. That's going to help our kids start a business. They can take mom's house, sell it, have $100,000 cash because there's no mortgage on it. You know, I have 2 right now that's free and clear. I want the rest to be free and clear, but, you know, just take that house that's free and clear, take out a line of credit on it, or, you know, sell it and take $100,000 and upstart their business. You know what I mean? So they're not starting off with debt. I got the debt. I'm gonna take care of that, and then they won't have it. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, and that's the key. Now was no stress on you, no stress on them. And look, we could pivot either way because we did it through the investments that we set up over time, which is definitely dope. Another question for you? Do you feel like, just in your transition, do you feel like it happened in like a timely fashion? You ever feel like frustrated with like how your growth is going? Like, yo, I feel like I should be here, or like you like, yo, I'm cool, I'm doing it in a good timeline kind of thing, or I'm comfortable where I'm at.
I think I can really honestly say I'm comfortable where I am. I think everything happened at the time it was supposed to. I know that if things had happened at other times, I may not have been prepared the way that I feel like I am now.
Okay.
I think I've shared this before when we've done other engagements before, that at one point I was buying between 1 and 2 houses a year.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty decent, you know, being a poor girl growing up and you buying a house outside of the one you live in, 1 or 2 a year. That was pretty decent.
Right.
Now I have the knowledge, I have the connections, I have the lenders, I have the resources where people are bringing me houses for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You know what I mean? The one in Ogans I bought for $80,000. I put $70,000 into it and I sold it for $235,000. $230,000.
Okay.
So, you know, and I'm buying now some 2-3 a month as opposed to 1 or 2 a year. You know what I mean? So, but it took me some time, and now I know there's a system to it. And once you learn the system, and you learn where to get the money from, and you learn who to get the money from, and you learn what to do with that money, and do it quick, it keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming.
Now, I don't know if people heard what you just said about the systems, or like, so like, and I'll say like sometimes I do struggle because I feel like I should be doing more, but then like you said, like you might be doing more before you're ready to really do more. So like, you're able to really grow, and now you're doing, like you said, you went from 1 or 2 a year to 2-3 a month, and as many as you really want to, because now you have the systems and the know-how to actually do it, And that
Right.
all took time through trial and error. And, you know,
Right.
and from networking with people.
And networking, that's important because, you know, I've had, like I said, a lot, you know, I hear people say, you know, I'm going to go in, you know, I'm gonna get into flipping or I'm gonna get into this. It's like, do you have the resources? Do you have the tools you need to get connected, especially to wholesalers, realtors, stuff that's all people like, oh, I'm going to share sale. Ain't no share sale no more. It's not. It ain't
Now how
what it
you
used to
buying
be.
houses, right? No, if you go to Sheriff, if that was your only source, like now how do you buy houses? Because
Right.
Sheriff sale closed right now.
And not even that, even when it's open, it's like you fighting over scraps. You know what I mean? You paying more than what these scraps are worth. But
right.
You know, you got somebody who Nana is in you know, what do you call it, like home care or something. She won't want the house, and the kids like 50 grand sound good to me. And you know the ARV is 250. Here's 50 grand right here.
Right.
Pass it over. I take it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just a matter of being connected, knowing, you know, knowing the right people, knowing who to call. You know, I have a lender right now. I'll send them a deal and be like, hey, you know, I'm interested in this.
A hard money lender?
Huh?
A hard money lender?
Hard money lender, right?
You said the name? You didn't say the name. I got my.
It's
my
Direct
notepad.
Lending Mortgage.
Okay, I know Direct Lending Mortgage. Okay.
And I just started using Crowd too, which is pretty good. Crowd is good too. But Direct Lending Mortgage, you know, got that relationship, and I just sent them a deal, and they're like, all right, what's the ARV? Here's a, you know, when you want to close.
Okay. Now, so for you, how do you know whether you want it to be a rental or a flip? Or like, what's your preference? Or just tell us what your preference is.
My preference are holds, but I know that it's a flip if it's a neighborhood that I know I would live in. So it may sound weird because some people say, well, I'll live anywhere, but not necessarily. You know the areas where you can let your kids run out on the block and it be, you know what I mean, you'd be okay with it. Right. So it's those areas. Now those pockets, I'll take the pockets too, but those pockets are, you know, more so for renters. Right. And you know, that's how I kind of determine whether or not, you know, it's a flip or a hold. And how much, you know, how much I got to go, you know, put into it. So, well, that's not really true because it doesn't matter how much you got to put into it. It just, it really, what really matters is what type of return I'm looking for at that time. You know what I mean? So right now I'm trying to build more capital. So I've been doing more flips. And you know, then I'll go back to like buy. But if I get a good deal that's a buy and hold, I'll take it.
Right. So I was gonna say, it sounds like when you said the neighborhood, like, hey, I would live in that neighborhood, or even like I know what you meant by, or at least I'm assuming I'm gonna ask you with not the rehab cost, but just the overall amount of debt. So like if it's a property that you know you're gonna, like you said, put 70 and 80 into it, it's like the numbers work, but the cash flow might not be as great. Exactly. But I'll make this bag off the flip. So let me flip it. It's still a deal to be had. But if you got that same property for 40 or 30, then it's like, yo, I'm gonna keep that all day because of where it's at. Exactly. 30, 40 for it.
Right. So that return is really, really important. What type of return are you looking for? You know, is it beneficial? Is it more beneficial for the long term, or is it more beneficial for, you know, let me just go ahead and sell it and get out? So.
Do you ever regret flipping any properties? Like, man, I wish I should have held on that one. Why you make that face?
Because I was just thinking. I went down to the sheriff's cell. This was probably, I would say, about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I bought a house at 56. I think it was either 54 or 56 in Apple something. It's in West Philly. What's that street? I forget. But anyways, right off of 54th and like Race. But it's a cute little block. It was a 2-bedroom house. I got that joint for $6,000. Okay.
But that was 6 years ago before the sheriff's sale got crazy.
That's
like
true.
That.
That's true.
The bad houses go for 20 and 30 now.
I know, but you said, do I ever regret? And I regret because I'm like $6,000, and then like I called the guy because I was like at that time something happened. I was like, all right, I just need some cash. I'm gonna sell it. It was only $6,000. I'm gonna get $12,000. I sold it for 12, And then I hit the guy up, and he didn't know me, but I looked him up, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, you want to sell that house? I'll buy it off of you. He got really, like, I don't want to sell my house. And then maybe a year later, he sold it for 28.
Okay.
So
that still wouldn't have been a bad buy.
No, it wasn't. And now it's worth probably about, I would say maybe 90 to maybe like 105, something like that.
Okay. Now, like, so as I ride by some of the houses I flipped, especially on Cobbs Creek, and even some of the people that moved in, I'm like, we're cool. Like, so I see them on social media, and I'm like, yo, y'all having the time of y'all life. And,
right.
And I'm like, yo, that was my house. Like,
right. You put your hard work and blood and sweat and tears in that joint, and you like, but right. You grow like a little bit of attachment to these properties, but you win all the way around. So
right now, I expect the ones that come out nice, because like you said, it's like, yo, if something ever went bad, like, yo, I could move in that house. Where look, and I know it still be decent. And for real, I tell people all the time, the houses I flip, they look better than my house.
Right, exactly. Mine too. Listen, people like my friends will come over and like, all right, wait, you put all this work in people's house. Why don't you redo your kitchen? And then I said, you know what, you right. Ripped out my kitchen, and my walls were open for about 3 months because I didn't have time.
Because you busy.
Yeah. So.
Nah, right. No, that's funny. Almost like a mechanic. You'd be like, yo, why you doing that? But you fix everybody else's car.
Right, exactly. It's the time. The time.
What would you say for you makes a deal like a good deal? Like, when do you know, like you were saying, like, oh, I checked the numbers, but like, is there anything else we should look at to say like a deal is a good deal? Like, if I'm a person that don't know anything, like, explain to me maybe like how to tell if the deal is a good deal or not.
The best way to figure out if a deal is a deal is, assessing a number. So what, if you're looking for a return, what type of return are you looking for? If it's a rental, so for instance, I had a friend years ago, and they were like, yeah, I bought a duplex, and I think they paid like $2 something for it, and they were getting like $900 from each apartment. That's $1,800. Your mortgage got to be over $1,000, and then you got to pay, water and taxes. So what are you bringing back? $200 a month? Is that really worth it? So, if and what I usually do if I'm buying a multifamily, one unit has to cover the mortgage, the taxes, the water. That other unit has to be all profit. If it's a house, then that means I got to buy it at a number where, that 70% or lower. Some people say 60, 65. My top is 70. Then I know that, I got a house right now. The mortgage is actually, this one's a duplex. The mortgage, I think, is like 80,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, the balance is 80,000 on the mortgage, and I pay, it's like 700. And the water is like another, I would say like $70, and the taxes like another $60, $70. So like $900, and the rent is like $950. So that unit covers all that. The rest is all profit.
Oh, that's a multifamily.
It's a multifamily, right?
Okay. And then, I mean, you slid it in earlier about you converting a single family to a duplex. Like, how does that work? Like, can we ask?
Yeah, so this one, fortunately for me, when I purchased it, it was zoned RM1. So I didn't have to go through the whole process.
Zoning board.
The zoning board to change the zoning. I did have to, get architectural plans, and we did some structural stuff, so I had to get an engineer stamp. But I sliced that thing right in half, and we had the space, and
you know how many square footage it is?
That one is, I want to say it's either 13 or 1400 square feet.
But it's over 1100 square feet.
It's over 1100.
So you could get 2 bedrooms in each unit?
No, so the downstairs we were able to get 2 bedrooms. Upstairs it's all open space, so it's an open kitchen and living space, and then the bedroom is in the back. There's a nice sized bedroom.
So you did a bigger entertaining space, but one large master bedroom. So you still gonna get top dollar in rent because you're giving somebody maximum space, and they're gonna pay for that maximum space and all the amenities and finishes you're putting in them.
Exactly. So this one's going to be a little bit on the a higher end finish.
You keeping it?
A lot of the other.
Are you keeping it? I'm sorry, you keeping it?
Yes, that one I am going to keep.
Okay.
I'm going to keep. But you know what? And I know this is some people probably had this issue. The neighbors. So you look at buying property and you like, okay, you look at the house next door, you look at the people next door. I mean, couple months ago, they had 2 tents outside in the front. Somebody was sleeping in tents outside. There's about 40 people that live in this house. I don't know how they chopped it up, but there's about 40 people that live in this one building. I don't know what this landlord did, but
I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting fed up with the nonsense these days. I hate to say it, but I might have had to call L&I on my man because he making my situation look bad. And I never we don't like to call the cops, call L&I, but the other people or savvy investors, like, yo, they calling. And,
right.
I mean, in that situation, like, yo, they sleeping in tents on the yard. Like,
I'll tell. I'ma tell. You like, yeah.
Yeah, but, and I mean, that also was like, stuff like that make it hard because, like, you could be doing your thing and minding your business, but keep bringing attention to your situation.
Right. So that's another thing to consider, like when you're purchasing, who are your neighbors? Who are the people who live around you? So that's you can't really do anything about it too much. I mean, you can call L&I. Hope, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right. But one thing I have noticed is that people will rent almost anywhere. They really will, whether it is the best of places or the worst of places. People always need a place to stay, and some people are okay with rowdy neighbors and some aren't.
Right. No, I understand. Are you still self-managing your properties, or you got a property manager?
So
why you make that face?
Because I don't brag, but I'm like, you know what? I'm doing a hell of a job because I think I got a couple extra gray hairs. I am managing my own projects. I'm managing my rentals. I am managing 100 kids in a classroom online. I am, it's a lot. And so I don't know. I'm not really sure where I'm getting this energy from. But in the back of my mind, I just keep thinking it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off because I'm tired. And I could pay somebody, a percentage from the revenue that I bring in from these different things. But right now, I'm like, I feel like I have the ability to manage them. So I'm going to keep my money to myself. And once I get to the point where once the center is open, and if I get the one in Lancaster, I have to delegate. You know what I mean? Because I want to be able to enjoy life. There's no difference. There wouldn't be a difference of me working my 9 to 5
than working your own business.
Than working my own business. If I'm doing everything, I have to learn to trust people and let them manage it for me.
So that's where I was waiting for you to finish, but I was gonna say, come on, like you doing your thing. You're doing your thing. Never doubting that, right? But just imagine how much more time you would get back if you weren't the first line of defense for these phone calls with the tenants. And I mean, sometimes things really go wrong, but most of the time when they call us, it's nonsense.
Right. It is. So
like, even if you don't get somebody that's necessarily a property manager, even if you get a virtual assistant just to manage, maybe phone calls or look, y'all don't call, y'all send an email, we'll respond, or text, and we'll respond.
Right. The other thing I will say to you guys, who are here, get you a system, and I just invested in it's called Yardi.
Okay.
The rental management system, which helps because now instead of calling me for a maintenance issue, they can put in a maintenance request. Right. They can put the level of urgency, even though sometimes they put urgent and it's not.
But now you could see it at least.
Right. And the other thing I noticed too, they were calling me Late at night, I had somebody call me at 10 o'clock at night 3 times in a row. I'm like, the house better be on fire. And, you know, this person had locked themselves out. That's not my problem. Call a locksmith. I'm not coming out my house at 10 o'clock at night
to let you in.
I'm going to call a locksmith and I'm going to charge you, or you can call the locksmith and let them charge you. But either way.
So the crazy thing is, ever since I put that locksmith, because I used to get them calls, ever since I put an addendum in the lease, there's a $75 fee if you need to be let in the house. Then it's a $125 fee if you need new locks. So they would call me the first time I let it slide. After that, oh, cash at me and I'll come. You don't cash at me, I'm not coming.
Right, exactly.
Now they go get another key and leave it at their mom's house, or you know, with the neighbor or something. Like, now you're prepared.
Right, because you know, so you set them systems up. You know what I mean? And
I wish I set that system up with the online management early on. So like I was paying, like some of them systems can be expensive. You know, Buildium, AppFolio, Yardly, and I think there's one more. Some people even use PayPal to collect rent and manage some stuff. But it's like, like you said, if you do this early on, now you got your 7 or your 10 steps of how you manage your property. It'll be easy to be streamlined. Right.
So you can, I just started setting up different systems to keep track of everything. So, you know, the construction piece, the education piece, the daycare piece, you know, and I just got to figure out now, who am I going to put in charge of these things so I can have more time to do other things. So.
And that's why we do the real estate. And like you said, like, go on trips. I think, what's this, like your 3rd trip since COVID has started? Oh.
7.
I love it. You got any recommendations? Because I need to go somewhere. I'm looking to go somewhere. You got any recommendations?
You know what? Everybody's been going to Mexico, Jamaica. There's only certain countries that you can go to right now. So I've been I've just been frequenting Jamaica. Somebody said the 20th.
Yeah.
I said the 20th time. But COVID there is very low. And it's, it's a beautiful place and it's nice. So I just go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you recommend for people that's looking to get in real estate or just improve, do you think they should get some type of coach or mentor?
Absolutely. So, it is very important to get connected with a mentor, someone who can tell you, or warn you rather, of the do's and the don'ts. Because I know, Anthony, you have, and I have also, and even the best of the best have had the oops and the contractors, being taken advantage of and all of that. And now I have people who are calling me to manage their projects. So that was something else I was thinking about doing. Just taking a construction, like just focusing on a construction piece too. I think that's probably a little bit out of my want to do. Because just managing my own is a lot of stress, and I know
right, let alone dealing with somebody who doesn't know or do know. You got to deal with their stuff plus the contractor stuff.
Right, exactly.
And
so I have
spread in between kind of thing.
Right, there's a lot of people from New York that I'm connected to who are investors now. They're investing here in Philly, and they're like, hey, I'm over in New York. Can you
help me out?
Yeah, help me out. Just get it up and running so I can get a tenant in there. So
I'm saying we got to figure out a way to transition them people to private investors. Look, I know that's what you think you want to do, but I tell you what, let me show you how it works first with your money, and we can figure out. I can give you a return for your money, and then you can decide if it's really for you. Because once you buy the house, you're stuck with the house. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
Once that roller coaster start going, especially with the contractors, and you from New York, or even if it's your first time doing it, you got to figure it out from there.
You got to figure it out. I think that private investing is also another, you say private or quiet investor or whatever, silent investor, you know what I mean? Just use your money to get a return. And it's interesting because just talking to different people and you know, just listening to the mindset. Like I have a friend who, you know, and everybody's like, oh, I want to flip, I want to flip, I want to flip. And then, you know, you get into it and it's like, it may be a little bit more than what you expected, or maybe it's not. But it's really good to partner up or to, you know, to invest with someone if you're really afraid, you know what I mean? Or you're really not sure. And also take a, you know, make sure that you're doing things right legally. So if you're, you know what I mean, you're investing your money, making sure that there's some type of contract or there's some type of legal, you know, legal aspect to it to protect you, so that you're not, you know, giving somebody your money and they're like, oops, my bad, well, I lost it, I'm sorry. Right. But I offered one of my friends who wanted to get into investing. I said, well, listen, why don't you invest $20,000, you know, with me? This is how it will work, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know, in 6 months, I'll give you X amount of return or whatever. And they were like, oh, well, that's not enough. Well, I said, your 20,000 is just sitting there in the bank and it's not going to make $0. Just sit. I mean, some pennies on the, you know, some pennies in 6 months.
If you're lucky, $300. If you're lucky.
Not even. Not even. So I'm like, you about to make a couple thousand, you know what I mean? But again, that is another avenue. And even like reaching out to family. So now I have family who are calling me and asking me, and it's like, look, you know, and I get it. People are scared. I talked to grandma. My grandmother owns her home. My grandmother actually bought a home for all of her children, and there were 7 of them.
Okay.
So each of them had a house. And you know, they're elderly, so they started passing off. Kids sold the house. So she has her house, and and you know, my grandmother's house is falling apart. Okay. And it hurts my heart to go into the home and, like, you know, I could just rip this out and take, you know,
but
take it apart.
Grandma don't want you to touch it. That's grandma's.
She don't want me to touch it, 1. Right. And 2, I said, well, why don't you take out a line of credit and let me invest, like, let me work. I'm paying the bank. I paid, when I bought the house on Ogons, I paid them, I think, $9,000 in interest only, and then I paid them back their money. So I paid them $9,000 to borrow their money. I told her, I will, let me take out the line of credit. I'll use it, do what I need to do. In 6 months, I will give you back that money plus a profit. You know, an agreed, right? And she's scared. She's afraid because you have a poor mindset, and when you don't have a lot of money, you want to hold on to the little bit you got because that's all you have. So I get the fear. I understand it, but that's just not in me. I'd rather risk the possibility of failing by trying to win than not trying at all, if that makes sense.
So, can you say it one more time?
I don't even know what I said.
See, I said, it was so good. It was so good.
I said I'd rather risk the possibility of failing than not taking a risk at all. Or not risk the possibility of you know, gaining or winning than not taking a risk at all.
Right. No,
you know what I mean?
Right. And
so
but that's the thing. So many people, they sit, and I'm not saying grandma, but even because I'm saying grandma, I feel like it's not necessarily grandma's fault because of her limited exposure to right. And that's so we're first generation. Like, our parents might have graduated high school, maybe went to college. Right. Our generation is like first generation. Most of us are graduating college. Exactly. Let alone buying a house or starting. Now, like, we're pushing it even more. Like, we don't even want the jobs. We want to start businesses. Right. Exactly. You know, we going completely off the grid with it, with buying businesses or having businesses. So that's why I say, like, I get it, but I'm saying it's not grandma's fault. But for our peers who don't see it no other way, right, is like, what you waiting on? Like, right. And you know what? That's the question. What are you waiting on? And you can call me, you can call Aunt, you can inbox me, you can inbox no, don't call me no more because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired. I'm not talking about for mentorship. What to do and you don't do it. Right. I'm not talking about for mentorship because I think, you know what I mean? Like, I've had people who have called me and say, hey, can I pick your brain? No, you really can't pick my brain because I really don't have the time.
But you know, if you want to partner up or
my favorite. Can I just ask you one quick question?
And then it turns into, and time is your most valuable asset. It is. And I'm sorry. I love you all and I want you guys to do well, but y'all got to do it the right way. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, find someone who is reputable and take a course, read a book. But you reaching out to some of these investors and they're like, okay, can I get an hour of your time? No, because that costs me. That costs me. And my time is valuable. And while I'm sitting here talking to you for an hour on the phone and you asking me all these questions, I'm missing phone. You know what I mean? There's phone calls I could be making. I'm moving all day long. So
Who you partnering up with? Who you asking? You asking Keish? Look, you might have some investors already trying to get with you.
Send you know, I'll leave my email and you know, you guys have the Instagram so you can, you know, message me and you know, we can, you know, we'll definitely talk, but it's so many avenues to take. You know, I bought a vending machine. But I did sell it again. I bought it. It was $750. I was going to put it into one of my spaces, but then I was just like, it's keeping up with that. It's just too. I want to do too much. I'm like, I wish I had.
Well, now we gotta leverage. We gotta put somebody
Right.
else in place. So like, that's
Right.
part of that growth. So I get it. Like, look, somebody gonna buy it. Why not go ahead and get that bread, right?
Oh yeah. TP Butters put me on. You're here. He sure did. Yup, he sure did. He was like, Keish. He was the one who told me. He was like, yeah, you got to get in this. And TP Butters was like,
okay.
And I did it. But listen, I didn't even know you did. Yeah, I did. I sold it. But he's into it. You know what I mean? He put me on. So that, you know, connecting and what do you call it? What's the term I'm looking for? When you
networking or
when
sharing information,
Yup.
We might have to get him on the IG live. I definitely like.
Yup, T Brothers. Yup, can talk about that residual income with the vending machines. Yup.
Right, and now we had a gentleman on here last week. So him and his family. They own apartment complexes in North Carolina. So he's one of the younger siblings, but he got vending machines, and now he puts them plus the coin operated washer machines. And he's got 200 units in North Carolina. So you got vending machines, washing machines, plus the rent roll coming in. He's killing them. He said one vending machine he got is just for I think he got for his son. His son is like not even 2. And he's like, yo, I just stacked the money up for him.
Yep. There you go. That, you know, just making those investments for your future and for your children's future. You know, I want my nieces, I want my future children to have that, you know, be able to go to a family, to me or anybody, my sisters, whoever, and say, listen, you know, I need 5,000 for school, I need 10,000 for school, and be able to do that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? I didn't even have my parents. I had my aunt and uncle.
Right.
So they had their own kids. We were poor, you know. We trying to make it. Imagine me coming to them saying I need money for school.
Right. Now, so I also want to push the notion, even with that, of people. I feel like people have money for what they want to have money for. Because let I don't know, Cousin Wu or whoever get locked up, they come up with that money for bail.
Right.
You know, that's normal, but it's not normal, right? So
right.
Or now we come up with the money for a fish fry. Like, no, like, why not invest now and get a life insurance policy while you can? And it is affordable, a little $10,000, $20,000 policy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's exactly. So it's like, what's important to you? You're going to invest in what's important to you. You know, and what's important to me is being able to live the life that I want to live. That's very important to me.
And what is that though? What is that for you?
For me?
Yeah, what does that ideal life look like?
It means being able to get up and go whenever I want to. It means, I'm not saying this proudly because I know we're in a pandemic, But you
No,
know,
we no, talk your talk. We not sugarcoating. Talk your talk. That's what we here for.
listen. In March, let me see. In March they shut down everything, right? In June they opened it back up. I've been out of the country June, July, August, September. This month I didn't go. I'm going next in 3 weeks. I'm going again out the country, and just being able to get up and walk out to the beach, or you know, pick some aki off a tree or aloe off a tree or whatever, and just, you know, make something to eat. Or I don't eat aloe, but
I know what you mean.
Some
but you're living that good life, though.
Right. You just just that to me is
more than mimosas and reading.
Exactly. So, you know, it's not about the big house or the fancy car. That's cool too, but just that freedom of being able to move freely and see what else is out here.
So can I push a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you used to have a big fancy car. You know, you pulled up on me one day at the shop, and I was like, oh. But I'm not mad at the fancy car, but I'm just saying, from the fancy car to what you just said now,
mm-hmm.
I'm just like, what changed? Or like, can you give us a little more about that?
So I had a big fancy car.
I'm only saying that because social media, I see all the, you know, the moguls and all that is, you
right.
know,
the fancy
it's going
cars
down. And I ain't gonna lie, I struggle sometimes. Like, wifey be having to check me. I be like, damn, what's up? Where my car at? Like, why all
right.
that? Like, what
right.
I'm doing wrong?
It is nothing wrong with that, but for me, that, you know, paying that big old car note and that big old car and big old bills, and I was like, I could take that big old check, and, you know, I just found other things that I felt could be, you know, I could better apply the money to than a car. To me, that's not important. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I got rid of that big fancy car, and I went and I bought me a. Oops, sorry.
Uh-oh. I was gonna say, you ain't go down, did you?
Sorry, my
It's all right.
My little thing isn't working. So I got rid of the fancy car. I went and bought a 2002 Nissan Maxima,
mm-hmm.
and it was like $2,000. And it was so funny because I pulled up to go look at a property, and my girlfriend was like, she said, I ain't used to seeing you drive a car like this. Right. And I love that car. I loved it more than my Range Rover. I loved that 2002 Nissan Maxima.
It did everything you needed it to do.
It did. It got me from point A to point B with $0 a month because I wasn't paying no car note. Nope. And I didn't care about no Range Rover. They can have it. I had my little 2002 Nissan Maxima, and I missed it.
Okay. All right. But not so. I think, like, so I'm not gonna lie. I used to be like that. Like, I wanted this thing. Like, I still want nice things, but it's not a priority. And then, like you said, when you start realizing what your money will do for you, like, that same car note, now that you don't have it, is going towards, you said you taking trips every other month. So especially since you're the trip person, now I need to hit you up and hit Coco up. Because like I said, I'm due for a trip. I want to do something before the year is out. Right. So I need y'all to help me figure out how to do it, because I hate that online trying to put the trips together and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be hitting you up about that.
Definitely.
But so I mean, we know with COVID things are different. We're trying to figure everything out. But do you have anything going on that the people will be able to connect with you coming up in the near future?
As far as, what do you mean?
Just in general, like, you got any events coming up? You plan on doing any virtual classes or?
I think that I probably will. We're in October. I'm thinking maybe like around a New Year sometime, or like around a New Year, just saying goodbye to 2020 with all of everything that's going on. Be like, look, y'all, it's time to go into a new year with a new mindset, make some new money. But I think that I will put something together, like maybe around
the New Year.
Yeah, New Year.
Okay. All right. Well, now, like I said, I'm always loving seeing your progression and your growth. Keep killing it. Keep representing. So I'm gonna be waiting and looking forward. And if I can help promote or do any of that, just let me know. I'm all
Absolutely.
for it. For the people who don't know, where can they follow you on social media?
So it's Deals and Heels, the number 1. You guys can, hit me up. You can send me messages or whatever. We can talk, if you're trying to invest or whatever. We can definitely talk about some, avenues, and I can direct you in some places if you want to partner up on some things. Aunt is here, I'm here. Let us know. Let us know.
Okay. And lastly, you got to give us either your top 3 books or your top 3 podcasts, or you can mix them up.
I'm trying to think. Books and podcasts. Well, everyone knows Bigger Pockets. That's a really good one. That's a good podcast. His and Her Money. That's another podcast. Richest Man in Babylon.
That's a book.
That's a book. I think it's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And I'm trying to think of another one.
Well, you went past 3, so I mean.
Or Who Moved My Cheese? That's another good one. 48. Was it 48 Laws of Power? That's a good one.
Yeah, so I actually like 50 Laws of Power better. That's just me.
I never heard of that one.
That's from 50 Cent.
Really?
Yeah, he teamed up with him and he wrote his own version of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This was a while back though, so it was a dope read though.
Good. I'm gonna have to look up that one.
Okay. And I mean, anything else that you want to just give the people, or anything else you think they should know before they get started in investing?
Yes. Make sure, don't be afraid. We only live once. This is it. And you want to be able to one day, whether it's a year, 5 or 50 years from now, be like, I did A, B, and C. I had A, B, and C.
Right.
Again, I guess it's a good thing I don't know how to gamble, because I'll be the one that be like, just take it all. You know what I mean? So it's okay to take risks. Not just, wise risk, and get with people who know what they're doing. Get with people who've done it before multiple times. Partner up. There's so many different, avenues that you can take. You can be a silent investor. You can be a private money lender. You can, what else is there, Aunt?
You said private money lender.
You can partner up.
Yeah. I mean, from the investment standpoint?
From the investment standpoint, yeah.
I mean, or you could do the situation like for some people, like you might not even have no money, know how, but just volunteer your services of, look, I'll come do the cleanup. I'll come go to the store with you and push the cart.
Mm-hmm. Just right. And listen, there's certain people who are, they're at a level that I would love to be at, where they're buying multi-million-dollar complexes. Let me go spend a day with them. I'll wipe your table down. What you want me to do? Go bring you that plate out the kitchen? I'll go get it. You know what I mean? Just so I can sit under them. And that knowledge is so much more than money. It really is. Because once you have it, now you can go and you can fish yourself instead of having someone else give you fish. And my 9 to 5, they give me the fish. I want my own. I want to fish by myself. So
right, you want to be able to control if you need a lot of fish that day or a little bit of fish, because I might be full from the day before.
Exactly.
Nah, that's cool. Well, like I said, definitely salute to you. Looking forward to seeing everything you got going on in 2020, man. You definitely be safe. And once again, thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime. It was great. Thank you for having me. And I will see some of you guys soon and talk to you guys soon. And y'all be safe.
Definitely. And for everybody out there, don't forget, next week, we right back at it, 8 o'clock. Looking forward to our next guest, Janelle. She's another great female investor buying multifamily. She's also got a story to tell about how she got started and what she's been doing as a mom, as a wife, as an entrepreneur. So appreciate y'all again. See y'all next week, and I guess I'll see you at the airport, right?
You see me at the airport.
Look, let me know. Let me know.
I will. Thanks, y'all. See you later.
Take it easy.
All right.